Hello and welcome back to Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. Now, last time out we did a massive ride along across, well, pretty much the entire passenger network. I think I may have missed out a little bit, but for the most part the entire passenger network in various trains, commuter services, stopping services, and we just had a look at everything that has been done. Made a couple of adjustments here and there, and it was just an episode of where have we got to in 100 episodes. Now, to start off episode 101, there are a few things that I want to do. So we are currently still in the Victorian era. I want to prepare to move out of that era, but as we move out of that era, there are a few things that I want to complete before sort of moving into the next era and saving it as a completely different set of saves. And one of those things is going to be passenger lines going down to at least Sudbury. Is it Sudbury down at the bottom, or is it Shepshed? Shepshed perhaps, not Sudbury. Or is it Maryport, Shepshed, Sudbury? Sorry, there's three towns. Maryport, Shepshed, Sudbury. Now, we have the farmland all laid out in that entire area, and the line that is going to be going that way is this one over here. So in this video, we're going to begin by moving or building this line out to head towards Maryport, and actually preparing to get a station, or maybe even placing a station down in Maryport ready to go. So make sure you stay tuned for that. This is going to be perhaps a 35 to 40 minutes episode. Nothing too major, but it should have a decent amount of progress. And please do remember, if you do enjoy these videos, click on the like button, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do consider subscribing. It is all free, and tell me what you are enjoying by leaving a comment. I may not respond to all of them, but I do certainly read them all. With all of that said and done, it is time to begin this video. Roll the intro. Okay, so the first thing that is going to be needing to be done is going to be trying to figure out where this track goes. But whilst I'm trying to work that out, I just want to show you one of JK's mods. Excellent British buffers. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Before we actually make the route out of here, let us figure out where Maryport is and the direction we generally need to go in. So it's going to be that way. Now, I would rather not be this far over, because if we're out here, it's sort of that breaks the immersion a little. So I would rather I moved around this side of the map where there's less. Well, there's just more to see. So perhaps somehow I need to make it through this area. And unfortunately, as we get closer to Maryport and indeed Shepshed, you are going to be towards the edge of the map. But it isn't absolutely terrible. Now, this being a... Why is that changed? That was not supposed to happen. Go back to that. Now, this being a fairly sort of a town in a valley, as you can see, what I'm considering doing is creating one of those elevated stations similar to what we have over here in... Come on, stop lagging. Stop lagging. Oh, there's so much lag. Over here in Barnstaple. So I'm considering making another one of these stations. I think it could work rather well, and I think it will probably be better for the design that we have. Now, on the other hand, Shepshed is up on a hill, so for that we're going to have to either make a cutout or something along those lines, or indeed just make the station underground. but that is something we shall have to look at when the time comes. So for Maryport we have a couple of options. We could build a station. Now the ideal place I think for the station is going to be right here. This here looks like an ideal spot for a station. So just to pencil the station in, let me... What is this? Track builder, passenger, stop. Wait, what? What is this? Is this something I've... Terminal function, right? What is this? Bridges, tunnels, parallel tracks. Obviously I've done something. Curved stations. Wait. I'm just going to place this, and I'm just going to see if I can configure this to add anything else into it. No, I cannot. Is this the ultimate station? I'm not sure. Anyway, let me go back to what I was looking at. And we are going to go for... So we have two options here. We've got an option of either doing something like this and then lifting the entire station up. So to do that, something along these lines, which would be pretty cool if we were to do that, but it kind of looks a little bit awkward. Now, what our other option is to do a elevated station. This open cut station has been a problem for me in the past, and it may be a problem for me again now. Yeah, this is a station that I do not particularly like. Not a fan of this station, so we're not going to be using those. But I'm thinking we go for one of these with all the lagging that comes with it. Come on, stop lagging, please. There we are. So we've got a station, and we could essentially build it. I'm not sure why it marks this as... Oh, it's marking that bit as a collision. Of course. Not sure which bits are colliding or which bits are not. So we've got all of these various styles. So this one looks pretty good. The other style I guess we could have is going to be... We have... These are the platform roof styles. Like I say, this is the modern era. No, we haven't reached that era yet. It would still be potentially something along these lines. But we've got island platform. We've got this one, which is interesting. We have this one, which is also interesting. And the platform height is, I think it is pretty much okay. There isn't much to worry about there. What I would like to do, probably make that smaller, and we need to add in bridge type. Is that not... There we go. Now it's starting to work. But that does not look very good in the slightest. Could do that, put a cover on it at the very least. Still does not really work, unfortunately. Are there any other stations we could use? Underground? No, I need to get rid of that one. These are cargo stations, so let me just go for passenger only. See, ideally I would have wanted one of these, but at a high level. That is not going to happen, which is really annoying. Era B is... Are we entering Era B? I think perhaps after... we move... Yeah, after we move to the next era, or after the Victorian era, then perhaps we should do Era B. I think what we really want to do is going to be... Oh, what's this with the retaining walls? No. I think this one is our best option. I think so. Now, how did I pull this off in... How did I pull this off in Barnstaple? Is my question. Because clearly I've done this much better out this way. How have I done that? This could be the entire video. It's a centre platform. Okay. So over here I've done a centre platform. Fine. I'll attempt the exact same thing. So that is... So it's an island platform, which is correct. If I now do... Ah, there we go. That's it. Now, so that was... So if we use M... Well, this is working now. That works, although again the interior bit does not work at all. Track groups is fine. Main entrance. What do we have here? That's terrible. That is interesting. That is even more interesting. Can I not use A small, A large? Oh, can I not use... I do not want to use that. See, then it's just going to do this. Okay. We have bypass tracks as well. We could put in some bypass tracks if we wanted to. This is all not going to plan. So I think what I'm going to do is, just because I cannot do this at this point in time, I'm going to go for a UK station. Oh, we could go for a Great Western Railway station. That would be so nice to have. It's a very nice style station. These are stunningly good. Highly detailed. Brilliant stations here. But and I'll just show you, if I just place the station down. Have a look at the quality of that station. I would try and make every station exactly like this one, if I could, because it just looks excellent. But unfortunately, because I already have this style of station, I have to stick with it. White stone, that's new. So I think is it that one or is it this one? I think I've been doing these ones, but I'm going to move to this and stick on London brick. 120 meters seems reasonable. So what we could do is we could turn this around this way and essentially put another road in the middle. That would help. I think that would very much help. So if I go ahead and let me just line this up, I'll move this there, and then I'll place that there. There we go. And then from there, if I just place a road just a basic road. I said a basic road, there it is. And that way we have an idea as to where things are going to go. So we can do that. That wasn't even straight. Not happy about how that is doing that to the corner though. Not ideal. Right, okay. Wait a minute. You do that, then do that. That should bring... Oh, that wasn't even straight again. I see the issue. I definitely see the issue here. It is this connection. Okay, let me leave it as that for now. What on earth is this? Oh, it's just a bus lane. Well, I've made a hash of that. I thought that was a... No, it wasn't. I should have read that. Whoops. That, please. I think that seems like a reasonable... There we go, that is better. So we could have a bus stop out on this side, but there we go. For now, that is what we have. Great. I will actually... No, I'll configure this platform at another time. So, though I wanted it to be elevated, I guess this is going to have to do. So, out of Ollerton, where do we want to go? Oh, it's the wrong... I've used the wrong colour brick. Never mind at all. We want to have a... I think we're getting into the era of faster trains, so we'll have a 60 mile per hour track here. And we need to figure out exactly where this track is going to go. So we start with... I think we'll start with just doing this. So we've got the double track crossing. And then we have an issue. And the issue we have here is that the road... is not... Why is it not doing what I want? So the road is lifting. Right, okay, so the only way for me to fix this is to get rid of that, which is really not ideal, but get rid of that and then put the road back in once we figure out exactly what road it was. Which road was it? Which road is it? I have no idea anymore. How do I... Can I just select that road? Was it one of these? No. Was it one of these? Oh, there we go. Found it. Great. Just as the autosave was doing what it needed to do. Right, so I put that back in. This is strange. Tell me how this is a thing. I want to see where she goes. I've got to play this to see what happens. Oh no, it just sorts themselves out. And then we shall bring that to that, I would say. So that is our new track coming out there. Now, unfortunately, we've got to somehow manage to get this to cross in this direction. We need it to come out of the city. So we have two options. We can either... Right, we could go straight. If we do this, it says construction not possible. But I think we may be able to manage to get the trains to go straight out here. That is something we could do, in theory. In reality, it may be easier to try to turn it off here and just go out of... No, I think it will be easier to do this. So let us give this an attempt. Turn it ever so slightly. There we go. So obviously the thing about this is that we have that's a little strange. The thing about this is that we have a lot of... Right, why is construction not possible here? What is going on with this bit here? We have a lot of roads, so one of the things I can do is cut off the roads exactly the way I've just done so. So I could cut off that road. I could very much cut off part of this road, not all of it. So I could do this. In fact, what I could do is I could rejig this bit to that. That is not how I want that to end up. Can I, if I do that there, can I make this connect? Same problem, that construction not possible. Interesting. Okay, what if I rejig this to be exactly 90 there, and then try and... Okay. Wait a moment. There we go. So now we've got a rejig of the road just to fit the railway in, which kind of works. I would say that that is a pretty reasonable way of doing things. So we've got a slight wobble. This bit lifts up a little. I think I'm going to want to drop that down as we go across this bit. How is this bit going to work? Just have a look. It is decent. Let me do that. Will it keep it? That's flat though. It does sort of work. This bit is lifted a little, but what we can do is grab this node here, lift it up a meter, and see how that works. That was a little bit too much to lift. So grab the node, drop it down half a meter, and see how that works. There we go. Much better. Much, much better. Apart from that, we've run into the issue that I've had before. There we go, it's cleared itself. It's check collisions again. There is with the parallel tool, the developer has sent me a version of the mod for me to test. That may have fixed the issue, but I just have not got around to testing it yet. I shall test it as soon as I am able to. Right, so that is that bit done with a little bit of a wobble. As I said, I want to bring this down, so I guess, can I select this node? There's two nodes here. This is going to be interesting. That will do, and I want to drop it. Oh yeah, that shall be enough. And then copy and do the same for that. There we go. That is a lot neater. What I could also potentially do is select. I'll sort that out at another time. Now, the next bit is. Now, see that there is no option but for me to do this due to the placement of this road. But that is okay, I would say. Not too shabby. And then we can start looking at which direction and where we want this to go. So I'm thinking we could run it along here. And we'll have a tunnel through this bit that will probably come out. Right, so let's have a look. If it tunnels in at this point, that's 93.9. Then it will come back out just about here. So realistically, we could tunnel in a little earlier. We could try to tunnel in at a height of 90 or 87, let's say, there. And come out just about here. Which I think would work quite nicely. So let me have a look just as I'm attempting this. Let's see if a tunnel is possible. Yes, it is. There is a tunnel that will happen, but I want the tunnel to come out on this side. So realistically, we probably want this to start. Let me attempt it from the 87-ish point, just to see where it comes out. And that is much better. That is exactly as I would want it. The only problem is that the railway's over there. This is over here. Not exactly where we want it to be. So, since we do not have many, this is all mainly rolling hills, what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to attempt to turn this so the railway follows this area. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to make an attempt to turn the railway to follow. Now, I suppose I'll stay on this side. That is probably a better option. And we shall do that. Run along here, and this should not really give us too much in the way of issues. There we go. We could, I think, either straight line it from here, which I think is a good option. Let's go ahead and straight line this entire section. Break that bit. Continue straight lining it. Then look at this turn. We want to cross this at approximately 90 degrees, which is almost perfect. That there was almost perfect. But I just want to ensure that that does work. Turn back in. And now the only thing is that that is not exactly in the location I would want it. What I probably need to do is turn this in to be a lot sharper and then come across. Now that is not going to be 90 degrees, but maybe the best option I've got due to the nature of how the farmland is turning. So we will do that, and then I shall continue up this way, trying to figure out another straight line. There we go. Can I straight line this bit? I should be able to. As far as I can go. That is still holding the straight line. Continuing and still holding a straight line. This is good. Now, the issue I'm going to run into at this point is I want to see, this is, yes, okay, it is dipping down. This is good. So I need this to dip down. So we shall do that. continuing straight, still dipping down, still, wait, now it is climbing. So if I now do this, and try to get this to lower itself, how far is this going to go? Right, we end up with that tunnel. Not the perfect tunnel, but still reasonable if I were to do that. If I brought it along like that, that is a reasonable tunnel. Okay, good. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring it across like that. I'm going to break this bit because of the nature of how this is all going to pan out. That is correct. We will turn this ever so slightly as I attempt to do this. This entire messy section is going to be demolished, and I'll still continue through this area, and we want to get this into a tunnel as soon as possible. There we go. It is in the tunnel exactly as I wanted it to be. Now we could run across here. This is where it is going to get interesting because of the direction of the station. I need this to turn once again. So I could do this. There we go. That could be reasonable. So if I do that, bring this back here, do that, demolish this entire section, that could work, and then let's see how exactly this will pan out. So we need to immediately start going downhill again, but due to the nature of this, the downhill could be a little bit too steep, so I need to be aware of that. So we're going to make some adjustments, and I'm going to turn it in like so. We'll do that, break this bit here, cross right there, probably break this bit here as well because there's a second railway that's going to come along. And it is sort of working. I say sort of, it isn't perfect, but it is sort of working. And to be perfectly honest, I think I've managed to get a lot further in these however many minutes it has been, half an hour, than I thought I would. There we go. Do that. So you can sort of see there is a bit of a gradient between the actual ground and this. There's nothing I can do about that. And this is where I was concerned. This is where I was significantly concerned. Can it reach there? No, look at that height difference. Although, that being said, if we were to, at this point, say we are going to go down in a steeper fashion, could we manage it as we turned into the station? I think I have an idea. If I do this, bring it down up to, should we say, that point? And then from there, we're going to, well, essentially we're doing that. But let me build out of here just a tiny amount. Hang on. If I left that flat, okay, I'm going to leave, no, I cannot leave it flat. I'm going to have to do this. And then that bit is not quite where it needs to be, so I'm going to make an adjustment there as well. So we'll go U cross like so, U cross like so, and then can you join in that fashion? You can. Okay, now this is a little messy, but I think I can fix this by doing this. So we could say from there up to here, other side, there we go. Please give me an equalized ramp. Oh, I did not deselect check collision limits. This is going to take a while. I do apologise. Or is it done? Did it do it? It hasn't done it yet. But if I move the camera here, you may actually see it make its adjustment. Or has it? No. You may see it make its adjustment. There it goes. And that is a much, much smoother run. Now the question is that I've got this, I've sort of swung it to the left before it goes right. The reason I've swung it to the left before it goes right is because I thought that's maybe too tight a turn. But now having looked at that, could that be too tight a turn? Turns out it is not too tight a turn. So I'm going to redo this bit. So the whole bit that I just did is now going to get redone, rendering everything I just did utterly useless. Now that is an equal, that's a smooth gradient descent. That is what it has given me. I think that is potentially doable. It is a little different from the descent that I had, but it is still reasonable. And that is Maryport connected. So we have now got our line from Ollerton going all the way to Maryport. And this is going to be a double track railway the entire way through. So let me go ahead and build a double track for the entire length of it. This bit is quite nice. I was looking at, so earlier I had a look before recording this video at a few different railways just to try to establish how the curves are done on a railway. And I noticed that some of the railways, some of the older railways, they have quite tight corners, quite tight curves, so I thought, well, that should do. This is not too bad in the slightest. And all I've got to do is ensure that in the future, as the future rolls around, we have reasonable use of these. Now, what I could do is I could make a railway between Maryport and Batley or something. I need to think about what other sorts of railways were around, but that is a railway. It is an interesting one. That, I mean, if you look at that, it does go uphill for quite some time, for a long time. So something to perhaps consider is going to be that. Maybe, no, see, I cannot do that unless I were to make this tunnel a lot bigger. So if I were to make the tunnel from here, then maybe come out there, I may be able to get the track underneath this bit and essentially turn this into a bridge, which is not the worst of ideas now thinking about it. If I were to do that, how much lower would this be? This would end up being it's going to be about 3 or 4 meters lower. If it's 3 or 4 meters lower, then this entire descent is lower. We could have a downhill tunnel. We could enter a tunnel and then go downhill as soon as we are out of the tunnel, actually. Okay, slight change in plan just here. I want to attempt something. I'm not going to get rid of the crossing just yet. First off, I want to see how far we can manage to go. So if I start with this going downhill now, how far do we reach essentially? So is it going to be enough of a downhill? No, it isn't, because this entire thing is downhill. The only way to do that is going to be to have it before the tunnel, and that is not going to work. So this goes right back in. That is unfortunate. That is very, very unfortunate. I thought I was onto something there, but apparently not. So that is, well, all of that done. How is this looking? I would say reasonable. I would say as a railway, this looks pretty reasonable. There is an uphill climb for quite a while, but overall it does work. So let's go ahead and play that and get rid of the console. And perhaps look at a new... I'm not keen on this bit at all. I would much rather that was a straight line, but there's nothing I can do about it unless I were to completely rebuild this road. Now, if I were to rebuild this road, then yes, I could probably make that straight line work. Let me know in the comments box, do you think I should rebuild the road? Didn't change this one. And if you think that is a good idea, then I shall go ahead and do so. There we go. I think that is correct there. Let me do this. And here we go. Take that as a screenshot. That can be the screenshot for the episode. Let me see, is there anything else I need to do in this video? So obviously in the next video, as you may have already figured out, I need to start putting all of this back, reworking these farms, figuring out what goes where and how, and then just deciding from there what exactly needs to be done. So, oh dear. Can I not? I've got to bring that back. There we go. So, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon if you can do so. A link to that is in the description box below, and also you can find me on social media at ECGadget LP for both Twitter, if I'm still on there, and Instagram. Lastly, do go check out my Discord server. Link to that is also in the description box below. Thank you for those people who have been commenting on my videos. I do very much appreciate it, and as I said, please do leave more comments. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series.